I've sent millions of cold emails, and I'm going to show you the 5 most important things that I've learned from running cold email. So number one is that not all offers will work. I see too many people that try to make an offer work way too hard when it's just never going to work. And that means that they'll be pushing more volume or switching markets or changing scripts or doing whatever to try to make some shitty offer work when it's actually never going to work. And so, what you need to do if you've been split testing scripts for a while, or if you've been sending a ton of volume, getting no interested leads, or you've been switching markets and still getting no interested leads, is stop just split testing random things. But first, because the first thing you should be split testing is the offer. And so that means you might need to either, I mean, some businesses are not really going to perform too well with cold email, right? If you're trying to sell some low ticket B2C offer, it's really not going to work for cold email. But I'm going to assume that's not you. I'm going to assume that you're a B2B business, maybe with a medium to high ticket offer and a large target addressable market, so cold email can work for you. You probably need to reframe your offer. That means the way that you position either the outcome to the market that you're sending to, or the way that you position maybe the lead magnet that you're trying to give, or the intent that you're trying to grab needs to completely shift. And so what that can look like is, let's say you do advertising, instead of just running a ton of different scripts talking about the way you run ads or why you're the best advertising agency or maybe how much revenue you can make them, you might need to completely shift it and be like, okay, hey, I can make you this custom creative that's very specific to this specific thing that you guys do. Or I can make you this, I can review your analytics to see which campaigns you can scale more. Something like way different. That's just a completely different angle and actually a completely different entry into the offer. Okay. And by the way, I'm not an ads guy, I'm a cold email guy, but whatever specific thing for ads that you can think of running, that's how you kind of switch the angle that you're running for advertisements, right? Okay, now number two is that infrastructure is essential. Like it's so important. And the higher volume you send, the more emails you start sending. If you want to be sending million emails, like you need to know your infrastructure. Otherwise, you'll send a million emails and get like 10 positive replies. Like it's actually insane. Bad infrastructure, you will literally get zero results if you have bad infrastructure. I've seen people send probably over 100,000 emails and get maybe a handful, like under 10 positive replies. Like it's horrible. And so I'm not going to show you just how to run infrastructure completely because it's an insanely deep game. But the one thing that we've done to improve our infrastructure is that we always get twice the amount of daily sending volume that we need. So let's say we're running 3,000 emails a day for a certain client. We'll get 6,000 emails a day of sending volume, and then we'll send with half of that currently, and then the other half will stay in warm up, and then we'll batch rotate it every 2 to 4 weeks, and then we can switch out inboxes that are underperforming or domains that get blacklisted, and then purchase new infrastructure. And then when we purchase new infrastructure, we can rotate in our reserve, and then the purchase stuff can get warmed up as like the rotated infrastructure is sending. So we are just never not sending. Right? Infrastructure is super deep, but very high level. You get a bunch of domains. Under each domains, you set up a bunch of inboxes. You have to warm up those inboxes for a certain amount of time. There's Google, there's Microsoft, there's SMTP. It's crazy. So if you don't want to have to deal with any of the infrastructure stuff or any of this crazy stuff with cold email, you can just book a call with me and we can run it for you. And if you're dealing with infrastructure and you might know a little bit of it, the one tip I'd give you is just get double the daily sending volume that you need, batch rotate it. You can make a custom Claude project or just keep it down like your notes on when to rotate it. Number three is that a lead is not just a number. Every single lead has a different level of intent, a different level of interest. It's also probably a different demographic. They're able to pay different amounts. It's a different job title, right? There's so many different varying factors. And you need to be able to understand that when you're applying to the lead and trying to convert it into a booked call, or however you're trying to convert the lead over your outbound, and respect that. And I think that we've used AI setters a lot to just do speed to lead replies, follow up sequences, etc. But having an SDR that can call leads makes a huge difference on knowing exactly the type of feedback that you're getting from your campaigns. It also just makes them convert a lot better because you're directly calling them and talking with them. They know it's a real person. You can pre-qualify them. And so part of this is just uh, treat your leads as different people rather than just a number. One interested lead is not equal to another interested lead. And number two is call the leads. That's insanely helpful to do. And that kind of goes into number four, which is lead to booking is like half the game. I mean, I don't know the exact split, of course, but lead to booking is a huge part of the outbound game. It's not just like the little part of the end, it's a massive portion. Okay. And so getting an interested lead to a booked call and to a showed call and to a qualified call is a huge thing. What we do simply is whenever an interested lead comes in, we ping Slack channel with the lead's intent, the lead's phone number, the lead's emails so that they can be called. We do a speech lead reply within 5 minutes where we read a custom knowledge base for the client, and then we read the whole intent like stuff. We read like background information on the lead. We read the whole like follow up sequence, like every email that's been sent back and forth from the lead. We reply right away. We put into a follow up sequence. We reply 5 more times after that if they don't book in, and then when they book, we send them to like a post booking page. We send a bunch of extra resources. Like there's a massive process. It can sometimes get more complicated than the cold to lead, right? There's so many different things you can do, especially if you're adding in like a lead magnet or something like that, or if you're applying to different intent leads in different ways. You can put a lot of time into this to optimize it, because if you can get a lead to booking rate from 20% to 30%, that's a 50% increase in every single call that you book, right? If you're booking 50 calls and you get your lead to booking rate from 20% to 30%, then now you're booking 75 calls. It's as simple as that. Like lead to booking rate, optimizing it even just by a couple percent makes a huge difference in the overall output of your outbound. Okay. Now the fifth one is custom lead sourcing. This is huge. Most people are getting leads from probably Apollo, maybe a bit of Zoom Info, Prospio, Lead Magic, something like that. And then hopefully some are getting some from Google Maps. I found Google Maps to be very good. We made our custom scraper, mapsdata.ai. You can check it out, get 500 free leads, and get up to 300,000 leads a month for $99 a month. So that's insane. But the custom lead sourcing part of this, for us, it started off as a Google Maps, where we created our own custom scraper and then eventually we launched it. That's what I just told you about. But also going more in depth, you can find many different types of businesses just by scraping public databases, directories, listings, job postings, etc. And you can make easy custom lead scrapers with Claude Code and Codex. Like it's very, very simple. You don't need to know how to code. You can just prompt Claude Code to scrape these public databases, get you the email information, and then verify them. Very, very simple. So those are the 5 most important things. If you have any other questions, drop a comment or DM me on X. And if you want us to run your outbound for you, completely done for you, book call in the description, cal.com/leroywelch/intro. Subscribe.